load it up a little something. Let's see what it sounds like. Oh, yeah. Oh. There we go. That bass.
It's a hot sunny day in Florida. If you're driving down I-95 and you're in a traffic jam, don't worry. Just ride to the new sounds of them. And all you dumb motherfuckers that's just sitting on your ass, get up and do something with yourself, you dumb motherfuckers. Now listen to this shit.
Yeah.
Here's a little story that must be told.
We're going to talk about this album that we did.
Exactly.
That we remastering. But I think we need to go back a little further than that. To the Knowledge days.
Well, right around this time, my man LP and I, Alaska Hoffman, what's up, bro? We start doing this night in downtown Fort Lauderdale somewhere called Knowledge. It was at this spot. It was a club that was once an old funeral home. So the energy was weird, but if you didn't know it, you just thought it was just this cool big warehouse of a place that had halls that you can walk through and little side rooms. And we do that at night, and now Jock D comes into the picture, and we kind of click, and that's how me and him got together, vibe.
In our own different environments, we were both hip-hop junkies, even though we were subjected to bass music. So that time frame is important because between 90 and 94, while I was rambling around doing my crazy shit, you was rambling around doing your crazy shit. Mm-hmm. I had no clue that I was about to run into you. Somewhere after the first How Can I Be Down was when we decided to do Knowledge. And that was the beginning of us. Because of that one night in the small room freestyle.
I went to Knowledge before I moved to New York. And I remember the little side room and the vibe of it. And it was the first time I ever really freestyled. I've been known as a DJ, beat maker, and I did some rapping. And I remember everybody standing there, and I got the mic, and I was doing it. Oh shit, I'm doing it. And I'm looking, and everybody was looking at me like vibing, and I was like, oh yeah, all right, this is what it is. I was in New York. My first daughter was born, and Jimbo's the one who called me up about Dynamix 2, signing people.
This all started because of Rex the Planet.
It did.
Some kind of way, there was this huge group meeting that we had to meet with because he wanted to work on an album, and he was like, I'm issuing out the beats for everybody to, listen to and vibe and see which ones you want to come down on. And I heard this one particular one, and mind you, during this time, this is the heavy weed smoking period. So now it's like everything is like, oh, but it was all brand new. So it was like, you know, the mental is expanding because we're smoking weed now. It was cool.
This is medical. I got my card, by the way.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
I guess we were some real smoked out creative motherfuckers because we did this one tune and it was just, to me, that was probably the best song on the album, even though, you know, you ask every other MC, they'll probably tell you something different. But for me, it was cool. It was me, him, and Burt Dog. Funny as shit. Our homeboy Aaron G comes up to me and is like, yo, man, you should, I think Jock was there too at the time because he was, I think, at Basely's house. And they were talking me into joining the group Them. I didn't know who the fuck or what the fuck Them was. I heard Them like, Them who? Them dudes.
Once it got put down to me and Boogie, we both MC, we both DJ, and we both produce. So in the very beginning, when we got it down to us two, or them two,
the group Them started slowly becoming. It went from 4 members to 3 members to finally 2 members, which was us. Now here we are.
We decided that we were going to split everything, even like we did equal amount of beats. Like I'd be like, I'm doing this beat, you're going to do that beat. I'm going to write this hook, you're going to write that hook. I'm a DJ on this one, you're going to DJ on that, which I don't think has ever been done in a group. So I think we might have pioneered some shit with that. I might be wrong, I don't know, but I don't think anybody ever did that. As far as an interracial group, which was something I thought was cool, the fact that you got a white dude and a black dude, and there's no gimmick about it, we're just vibing. So we did basically what ended up being the Gods of Quad album, like a good chunk of that, in this guy Gary Strider's studio out of Davie. And he would let us record hip-hop tracks in exchange. That's why we did the Gods of Quad. Funny thing was me and Boogie were the Gods of Quad. And then Cooley wanted to be in the group, and he told me, he's like, you need to let me be in the group because I am the God of Quad. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm not going to argue that. So it became Cooley C and the Gods of Quad, and then we did this album. It was really good, man. This is one of the songs that's live at the disco. And I remember everything Calvin did. He used to put it on song 50. There it is. That old Pretty Tony fixed it in the mix, chopped up nice. He's dropping there. What?
I have, in that drum machine right there, I still have the same 808 drum kit that we had. Even what was the kick called that Dave had? Kick-O.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dynamics kick that we stole.
Yeah,
that everybody used to stick the disc in the SP1200 to get that one sound for somebody to have it.
I think it was an Eric Griffin sound.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Eric Griffin. I remember what you and me used to do was we used to take a couple of 808s. We would take the Dynamics 808 and then have a long one.
Yeah.
And mix it together and then resample it, and then we'd have that bass.
I have that too, the one with a little ping in it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I was just like, let's do this alter ego thing. If we give him a bass track, he's going to let us record a hip-hop track. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. First single was pretty much done for free. I mean, for a small price of our soul, I guess.
We would do anything to be in the studio. Like, just sell our shoes off our feet, you know? Our last pack of smokes if we had to, but...
Props to Jim Johnson. He let us pretty much record this album at his house. This is before...
That was the second half of the album, wasn't it? Cause
yeah. I mean, well, not second. A lot of the album, pretty much everything after we did at Gary, which we only did the Tight Knit and When. So pretty much the remainder of the album was done at Jimbo's.
Yeah, we did.
I remember him peeking in, opening the door, peeking in and going, you guys tripping? And then just leave. You remember that shit too.
And we just looked at each other and laughed. I do remember that. Oh,
and I
remember that house.
Yeah, I remember listening to it and going, man, I hope this shit sounds as good as it does tomorrow when we're sober as it does right now.
The point of the matter is that when we got together after doing the Rex the Planet and we did the D Incredible, right after that, I swear to God, because maybe it might have been a month. I ran into Aaron, and Aaron's like, yo, Boogie, you need to move up north for this show, man. It's going to be great. I'm telling you, you need to make these beats, make this music. And it was, we were ready for it. But I just wasn't ready to move. I don't know if it was the fear inside me or just the fear of being with 2 other people that I have no idea how we're going to handle this. I don't know. And Chris asked, he was like, okay, cool, come up. I mean, I'd like it if you could come up.
Also, on a note, it was early 90s, mid 90s, it was also a crossover into the drum and bass world with LP. It was Leo was a drum and bass DJ, hip hop artist. So our friend Fury was this dude who was just straight hardcore jungle DJ, drum and bass. And coming from Miami bass, which influenced the drum and bass, we kind of like just fit in that whole mode, would freestyle over it, whatever, would rock raves, would rock hip hop parties, whatever. That's what made the 90s like real dope as far as that goes. So we did the God's Quad to in exchange for the tight knit shit. So we're going to get the labels done.
Okay.
And I had the great idea of like, let's do some shrooms and go down to Miami and get these labels done, because you know you always get shit done when you're tripping your fucking face off.
And Fury.
So Fury cooked up like a half a bag, like a, I don't know, what was it, a half ounce, an ounce, probably a full fucking ounce. Freaking cleaned it, threw some grape Kool-Aid in it, and we each
Slushies.
had a big gulp, this fucking big,
Of slushies.
and we downed that shit, and then we got in a car. It wasn't a gradual thing. It was like somebody turned the channel and shit went from normal to not normal.
Hold on. I could tell you the moment, because I can remember after we drank it, and I remember everything. We leave Fury's house, and we were there for a good little while, but we slurped it down real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and warning to you, never drink a Slurpee fast. I don't care what you think. It's not fun.
Takes brain freeze to another level.
Woo!
About it.
Woo! So we drink the Slurpee, and then it's like, all right, let's go.
Let's go handle some business.
Right? So this whole time frame of finishing the Slurpee to get into the car was roughly 5, maybe 10 minutes with a little talking in between. Maybe. We get in the car. Jock's like, I need some gas. And then he's like, what's this? Mushrooms are nothing. I don't feel anything. Everything's great. Let's go. Right? So he gets to the gas station. Right? So right now it's about 15 minutes, I'd say. 15, maybe 20. Get to the gas station. I'm bugging in the car at this point because things are just starting to feel really, really weird. Like, I mean, bubbles in your face times 10. And he gets out, I don't feel anything. Gets out the car, goes inside, pay for the gas, pumps the gas in the car, gets back in the car and says, I feel it, dog. I feel it. So from that point on, that's when we take off. Now it's like, okay, so we're going to get this mission done. We're going to do this thing like pros. We can get it all done. Yeah, men.
Hold up, you're forgetting the one wrinkle. So Fury's with us.
Oh, let's not forget.
He's in the back, and he's just talking deadpan. And I swear to God, I wish he was still alive so I could just ask him if he was fucking with us or if he was just really talking some true shit. Because he's talking about like, yeah, you know, we went to the cemetery and we're digging up bodies and we're dancing around with them and this, that, and the other shit. And I remember it like clear day. I'm driving, I look at Boogie, you look at me, and you were just like, we were already in the same mode. You looked at me, he's like,
you gotta go home.
Yeah. He's like, gotta go right now.
Right now.
So,
and he's like, why?
So we dropped his ass off. I look out the door and all I see is this alien goddamn grasshopper.
I swear.
Looking in the car. So we're on the road. And so now we're in Lake Worth. Because now we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
No.
Lake Worth was first.
Here's what happened. Because after we dropped Fury off, we look at each other and say, we need weed.
That's it.
That's what happened.
And back then, if you needed weed, you needed
There's
to
only
see
a
my
few
man.
places that you can go to.
I can't put him out there because
Right, there's only a few places you can go to, so we go look for our homie.
For my man. I'm not going to say his name. He knows who he is. He's got a legit job now, so I don't want to put him out there. Well, we would drive, and then we would think that we saw him. Like, I would be driving, and I'd be like, oh, there he is. And he'd be like, hey, what's up, y'all? And I'd be like, oh, there he is. Let's go. He's there.
And we thought he saw his car. Seriously.
But that shit happened like maybe we thought 3 or 4 or 5 times. Like, we kept doing like, oh, there he is. And he'd be like, hey, what's up? Like, hey, well, there he is. Hey, what's up? And we kept going, and he's not there. So I think it was one you asked. You're like, how long we been driving? And I'm like, I don't know, a couple of minutes. And then we look at the clock, and it's been like 3 hours of doing this shit. So at that point,
needless to say, by this time, the trip to Fort Lauderdale to take care of the music business was gone. Gone. Bye-bye. See you later.
I remember driving down 95 from 10th Avenue. This is an area I've lived in for damn near, at this point, 15 years. And I felt like I could have been driving in Saskatchewan or someplace I ain't never been in my life because nothing looked familiar. And the trees and everything were like looking at me like going, hey man, what's up? Welcome. And
By the grace
by the grace of God, we made it. We made it to the place, and sat down and chilled. And the ceiling was popcorn ceiling, was swirling around, and I don't even know if we had any weed, but we was just chilling. And then you fired up a beat.
And about 2 minutes
and
into
then hold on, let me
running-
just tell you how it went down. Because first off, he fired up this beat, and I'm just sitting there, and it's just this. It's a hip hop track, but it's got this jungle-y thing going behind it. And all of a sudden, I'm hallucinating. I'm on the Serengeti, like freaking lions chilling and shit. And all of a sudden, I'm just feeling like this tribal vibe that just makes me get up out of my chair. I bust out the front door, and I'm just running. And I'm just running and running. And I'm just running. And that's all I'm thinking about is like, I'm going to run forever. And I'm running around the block, and Boogie's sitting out
But
there.
wait a minute, before you ran, I never forget you announced it. It's like this beat's crazy. Makes me want to go run around the block. So I remember saying,
Yeah, you were the one that made me do that shit.
And I remember saying,
You were like, go on
go
in.
ahead. And he jumped up, took off out the door. I was like, oh shit, Chuck is hard as fuck. We gone.
And y'all was sitting out in the front. I ran around, and you were like, so how was it? And I was like, it was great. I'm going to do it again.
Take off. So it took off.
So that started. The next phase was I wanted to be the Jim Morrison of rap, and he was going to be the Jimi Hendrix of rap or whatever. And so that's what we were pushing. So there was a lot of tripping, a lot of shows done tripping
Yeah, we opened for De La high as hell.
on mescaline.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
And
That was really fun.
the one thing I remember about that show is there's a lot of haters because they used to do open mic before the main groups. This is Club Boca. Shout out to DJ Stevie D, Dick Clark of Hip Hop. Before you say shit about me, not saying nothing about you. You know we love you.
Word.
So he got us on this bill. De La was there. He did some legendary shit in Boca. Had the biggest fucking hip hop nightclub with 2 rooms going on, and was bringing Run DMC. Like anybody who was anybody in the '90s golden era hip hop, he was bringing like on a weekly, on a Monday, and had that shit packed on a fucking Monday.
And we had like 900 people show up, man, on a Monday. And and before that night even started, we were already promoting Run DMC the following week. So people probably came on the first night thinking, is this the night Run DMC is going to be here maybe? Okay. But it was the next week. So we started off 900 people. Then Run DMC was like 2,000 people on a Monday. And it was like, who's next? We had Run DMC, Dougie Fresh, Biz Marquee. We had Craig Mack. We had Das Effects, Brand Nubian, Grand Puba by himself with DJ Alamo. All of the Duck Down artists, Helter Skelter, OGC, Smith & Wesson, Drew Ha even performed at Club Boca that night. And then, from Common to De La Soul to Guru from Gangstar, rest in peace, to Mad Lion, to Chub Rock, to Grandmaster Kaz and Busy Bee, and then Grandmaster Kaz with the Wild Style reunion with like Waterbed Kev and Jazzy J. Like it was just retarded. Prince Raheem Water, all these guys. And the list just kept going on and on and on. And we were bringing great stage performers, man. They really had a good show, and they loved coming to Boca. A lot of them thought, like, there's no hip-hop scene.
That might have started the whole exodus.
There was a hip-hop scene down here, man. Don't get it twisted. There's a lot more than Luke and all this other shit. A lot of hip-hop came out of South
Yes,
Florida.
indeed.
Unsung hip-hop dudes, man.
Yes,
and
indeed.
Part of this reason we're doing this is just to shed light on it, because we're going to have this album up on YouTube, remastered for y'all to check after you check this, because actually we're on YouTube right now, and after this, you can listen to the shit. But anyway, let's talk about the first show we did for Tight Knit Trip.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
I got to talk about it. Another friend. Goddamn, man. Too many of my friends, man. T.H.E.M. I'm going to talk about the first time I met him because it's quite humorous. So Tight Knit is getting spun in Miami. Getting a lot of love. Shout out to Snow White and Coupe de Ville for making that happen.
Underground radio.
Everybody there is somebody. There was T.H.E.M. I swear I can't remember. We were talking about it. I'm pretty sure DJ Khaled was there before DJ Khaled, blew up. So there was like the who's who of underground hip hop in Miami were at this place. Now, we took the microdots, I think, right? This is the mescaline.
Yeah,
this is
the mescaline.
We would talk like without talking. Like when we would be tripping, like our vibe was like so connected that I would just look at him and he would look at me. And then we would have a whole conversation, and then after that, I would finally say it. I was like, we just had a conversation right now, didn't we? And he'd be like, yeah, we just did. I'd be like, wow, we on some other shit. So TC was talking, he was speaking some knowledge, whatever. And, I was digging it. I was hearing what he was saying. And then he kind of was talking to everybody, and then at that finished, and he kind of just like leaned over to me out of the blue, singled me out, and he was like, but you wouldn't know anything about that. I was like, all right, that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. So we ended up doing the show, and all like the who's who I was telling about was sitting in the front, and TC was in the front. And I remember Boogie's doing his shit, and I know my verse. And the good thing about performing when you're tripping is because the energy just freaking just comes out. So by the time I had my verse and whatever, I just got right in TC and just got down with the mic and was like,
it's the return of the original B-boy, scientifical madman with the pad and the pen. I'm getting open to that universal train of thought, never caught in the instinctive mind trap, cause the spiritual mind slaps my devil from the physical frame. Who's to blame while you sit there on the couch doing the same old same? That's why we came to steer you clear from the flame. Shorties wasting their life, now that's a goddamn shame. Check it.
it felt really good. And then after that, TC came up to me and it was like, yo, this is my fucking man right here, whatever. And then we became friends.
Oh, no,
after that.
the line was, I see now.
yeah.
And walked off. And gave him down and walked off. Yeah, man. Oh,
and
my
it all
God.
comes full circle because we did our second album, the Mathematical Chemistry album. We were able to get him on a track, and it was a really nice track. And I'm glad that I got to record a song with him.
Yeah.
Prior to his passing.
Knowledge is the foundation, and the wisdom is the way. You see that understanding shows us that we are on our way.
And then here comes De La Soul, like, and it was time for, you guys were ready, and it was like, showed up at the club, and I looked at you, and you looked at me, and I'll never forget, you said to me, yo, I'm tripping, man. And I was like, oh, fuck. Rip that shit, son. Rip that shit. I'm gonna go light this blunt, and I'm gonna go play some music, and you get on stage, man. Let's do this. And it was epic, man. Yeah. It was epic because
we did it. This particular night, De La's performing, 1,500, 2,000 people in this joint.
Packed like sardines.
So the MCs were pissed off because they thought we were freestyling, that it was open mic, and we had actually had dudes jumping on stage while we're doing our show. And I kind of felt like that video Beats to the Rhyme where dudes like pushing people off stage with the mic like, get off!
And here's the epic thing about that night. You might not know that you performed. It was the only night in the history of Club Boca that there was crowd surfing on a hip-hop night.
You're talking about the crowd surfing. I remember being on stage and the lights flashing and just seeing steam, smoke coming off the crowd.
It was that hot in there.
Just smoke coming off the people. While I was tripping, I was on stage with the mic, and I was like, wow, that shit is crazy. And then Boogie was rapping, and I knew my verse was coming up. And I was like, I don't even know what planet I'm on. I don't even know my name. I don't know any rap I've ever done. I rap. I'm a what am I? And then panic set in, because I'm like, my verse is coming. And then for some reason, while my brain is panicking, my mouth started doing the verse, and I was like, oh, all right, good. And I remember my brain and my mouth, I was like, oh, thank you. So we pulled it out, and we already talked to stories. People tried to kick the CD and fuck the show up because they thought it was open mic.
It was kind of felt like the Matrix, like the bullet time, where they kicked the CD and everything was just like, and I fell right back in on the beat. For the second album, instead of me and Boogie handling the cuts, I wanted to get someone really super nice on the cuts, and DJ Immortal out of Scratch Academy, he was that dude. This is actually, we took a break from the whole tripping thing, and it was a show called this place called Hot Dogs.
Actually, we were tripping that night.
No, that's what I'm saying. We had taken a break from it.
Oh,
decided that night, like, we're gonna come out of retirement from doing the drugs, and we're gonna do it again.
Right.
So that night, the same shit happened. The shit skipped. It was the same thing. Bullet time, Matrix shit, and I dropped the verse. And then I remember, now Immortal wasn't our DJ, but he was DJing that night, and he was behind us, and he's just got this look like, I can't believe these motherfuckers just came back on the beat after they kicked. I had never seen no shit like that before.
I had first heard about them two from my boy Troy in Orlando, but I had only heard like one or two songs, and then obviously I had heard of Jock D from the Miami bass days, and so I met him. I also met Los from 32 Ounce, Butter V, pretty much all those guys in the same week or so, and then met Jock D. He asked me to do some scratches and collab with them. Obviously, honored to work with him. I was like, yo, if he's asking me, I want to do it for sure. But still didn't really know the music. And then got to see them perform, and that was the night I met Boogie also. And when I saw them perform, I was like, yo, these guys are the truth. This is some dope, real hip hop shit. I'm definitely down to collab. And then met up with Jock a little while after that, and did all the scratches for the majority of the album. And yeah, man, the rest is history.
So props to Immortal, because the cuts on that Mathematical Chemistry album are the shit. That's another underrated slept-on album that we're gonna put with the Endless Journey as a bonus. The music is dope, and I can still listen to it. There's a couple of them that make me cringe 20 years later, but for all in all, the majority of the album holds up. So hopefully after you watch this, you're gonna listen to the shit and feel the journey.
Sound familiar?
No, it was like 0.2 seconds.
Still don't sound familiar?
Well, I know the UFO break, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And I tuned that to pitch the bass line on it to match the
I want to say some movie.
Close, not necessarily the movie. Hong Kong for win, #1 super doll. No, yeah, but that's the freedom of doing that, man. You have access to so much crap, man. It's like people are silly sometimes. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness the magnificent lyrical stylings of thinking humans educating masses. I got my man, my mellow, Boogie Waters, and I'm Jocamoe, Dundigenous Dundee. We gon' break it down like this. A little something like this. Check it out. It's the best you've never heard. 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 So what you don't know, nah, what you don't know. Say what you don't know, nah, what you don't know. Now if you think I'm new to this homeboy, you're dead wrong.
Blazing hot, the millennium is burning up. Y'all still riding to the sounds of them. Check it out now. I'm living, you living, day to day. I'm living, you living, day to day. I'm living, you living, day to day. I'm living, you living, day to day, day to day. You living, day to day, day to day. I'm living, day to day, to day to day.